What's up, awesome YouTubers? Ray1988 or Justin back here to do a video for you all. I hope you're all doing well out there, and today I'm here to talk about Scarefest weekend 2023 and talk about my experience with it and talk about who I met celebrity-wise, who I met YouTuber-wise, and some of my friends. So I want to talk about that, talk about the experience, and talk about some of the stuff that I picked up. So anyway, I hope you're all doing well out there and expect videos these next 3 days. So today, tomorrow, which is Halloween Eve, and then Halloween Day, I will have something posted as well. But I want to get some videos out there before October ends. And again, I want to talk about Scarefest because it's been a week since the show, and I'm just now getting around to talking about it. So let's get started. First, I want to say I love horror movie conventions. I love conventions in general, but for me, scary movie conventions are just so much fun. If you've never been to one, if you're a fan of the genre, you need to go. Whatever convention it may be. Scarefest, if you can go. Scarefest is one of my favorite shows, and it really, throughout the 10 plus years that I've been going to this show, I try to go every year. I think there was 2 years I didn't go. It was during, the pandemic. But I've tried not to miss the Scarefest shows. I love these shows. I love the community of people. I love how they're run. Super friendly, kind staff members. But really what comes down to it is just the conventions themselves and the people there, the people that you run into, the people that you talk to. I'm talking about, either vendors or mostly people who go to the shows because they're fans just like you. You meet people, you create friendships like with YouTube, and it's just wonderful. And so I love conventions, and I recommend going to them. If you're not a fan of the genre, if you're skeptical about scary movie conventions because you think it's going to be all scary stuff, it's not. It's a community of people who have the same interest as you or have a certain interest, and they're going there to have a good time, and they're some of the nicest people. So it's not all scary stuff. It's beyond that, and I certainly love going to these, and I've been going to them over 10 years. So check out a convention, whatever one you go to, have a good time, and try to make it to Scarefest. I love this show. It's in Lexington, Kentucky, and it's just wonderful. So that being said, let's talk about the people that I met first as far as celebrity goes. Probably the highlight of the convention was meeting Karen Fields, who plays Judy in Sleepaway Camp. How come Angela gets to talk to the boys and we have to play volleyball? That's my impression of Karen Fields, Judy from Sleepaway Camp. She's a real carpenter's dream, Judy. I love her. She's really loved meeting Karen Fields. I met her Friday night, and I was like, if I'm going to meet anybody from Sleepaway Camp, because I've met Felissa Rose, I met Jonathan Tiersten. Outside of them, I had never really met the cast before. And, prices for, meeting celebrities have gone up. And so I wanted to pick my select few people that I wanted to meet. And one of my favorite Mean Girls of all time in the horror movie genre, the OG Mean Girl, is good old Judy. Great Judy. She was mean in the movie, but a total sweetheart in real life. Like, Karen Fields is a highlight to meet at these shows. We talked about the movie. We talked about, the fan following of this film, how it's become this cult classic movie, and how it just brings more and more people in. The highlight for me, though, was just her and her personality and how she really adores the fans, like really adores them. And then we started talking about the LGBTQ plus community, because she is a big supporter of the community, for different reasons. And I really loved that. And we had a some really amazing conversations. I told her how much this movie meant to me in so many ways, and for me it's one of my favorite, I consider it one of my favorite LGBTQ plus horror movies. And in the 80s you didn't really have a lot of horror movies centering around gay characters, LGBTQ plus characters. But in slasher movies and in the horror movie genre, there was always subtext. In movies in general, there was subtext. And this movie has that in so many ways. And so we talked about how, or, you know, I brought up how much I love this movie and how it means so much to me, and why it's one of my favorite LGBTQ plus horror movies that are out there. And, you know, I talked about my coming out, and she talked about how, you know, her experience with the community. And again, you know, we had different conversations surrounding the community. And I really I adore Karen Fields. I will definitely stay in contact with her. Karen, if you're watching this, Elliot, if you're watching this, you guys were just wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I want to give a shout out to you both. But yeah, so I got to meet Karen, and I can gush over her all the time. She was just a joy to meet. She said one of my favorite lines, which is, you know, how come she gets to talk to the boys and we have to play volleyball? I love that line so much. She has so many great quotable lines. That one for me is the best one. So I love you, Karen Fields. I love Judy. We talked about it. She's the OG of Mean Girls. And fun fact, when Mean Girls came out, they're watching it at the Halloween party, or when Lindsay Lohan goes to see Janice and her other friend. They're watching Sleepaway Camp, which is cool. And Tina Fey said that she was a fan of, like, she met Tina Fey and they had a conversation about Sleepaway Camp and how Mean Girls Judy sort of inspired Mean Girls. So that was really cool. I'm talking about Karen Fields so much, but I really just adored her. I loved meeting her. Loved meeting Elliot. Shout out to you, Elliot. Loved meeting you. So you guys are wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful human beings. So anyway, let's talk about the other ones. I met Will Sadden again. Sadden? Hopefully I'm saying that right. I met him at the Horror Hound weekend that Jamie Lee Curtis was there. But I wanted to get a 8x10 print of his because I'm going to hang it on the wall. Super nice guy. And he played the original young Michael Myers in John Carpenter's Halloween. This was my first time meeting Sandy Johnson, who played Deborah Myers. And not Deborah Myers. I keep messing that up. Judith Myers. Justin. Judith Myers. Don't take my Halloween card away, people. There's a Deborah Myers in Halloween 6. Judith Myers. She played the original Judith Myers. And I really, again, loved meeting her. Super nice, super friendly person. And yeah. I always wanted to meet her ever since she started these shows. And she was just amazing. So I loved meeting her. And then I met Dylan McDermott, and of course, I'm gay. I love him, and he's hot, oh my gosh, in American Horror Story, but I love Dylan McDermott in general, so of course I got this 8x10. But he was nice, you know, short conversation, but again, very friendly person to talk to, and, you know, we talked a little bit about Still Magnolias, and some of his other work that I just love, Hardware, which I love, that underrated, obscure 90s movie, and of course, American Horror Story. So again, very nice guy, Dylan McDermott, huge crush on him, always have had a crush on him. So they were awesome to meet. Let's talk about some other people that I've met before, but I love them so much. Well, I love Paul so much, and Paul Paul Lanner, if you're watching this, I adore you. I love seeing you at these shows. Just awesome. And Hunters Against Hate. This is so what Hunters Against Hate is. It's he used to work at haunted attractions and kind of like the ones that you have every October, haunted houses and different things like that. But he incorporates protecting and standing up for the LGBTQ plus community, especially young youths today. There's an article that in a video that I watched that he sent me, which Good Morning America covered, Hunters Against Hate. And I got really emotional with it because I found out more about what Paul does, and I've always loved Paul. I've always talked to him. I've always ran into him at conventions. But that video was just really wonderful. And what he does for the LGBTQ plus community, he's part of the community. But what he does for the community, I just absolutely love. And I treasure and I cherish so much. There's so much that we've kind of evolved over time as far as the pros when it comes to the LGBTQ plus community, but there's also been the negative side of it and some tragic things that have happened and stuff that we still have to fight for. So Paul is just wonderful, and I love him and I adore him, and I'm so happy with what you're doing, Paul. So I wanted to give you a special shout out because you deserve it. And I got this from his table again. Hunters Against Hate. Just amazing. Paul, I love you. Met my friend Jay Gaslin. Jay, I love you too. Chris Johnson, I love you guys. You guys aren't on YouTube, but you know who you are. I love you. Charlene. So many people. But I want to give a shout out to some YouTubers. First of all, Mike and Jay from We Watched a Movie. I've met them 2 or 3 times now, but they are super nice and really loved meeting them. Want to talk about Chris Brock. Hopefully I'm saying your last name right, Chris. But Chris, he has a YouTube channel. I'm going to try to remember to leave it down below, but I met him for the first time. We were just I was just walking through shows or walking through aisles, and I happened to spot Chris, and it was awesome. And we had, a great conversation, just, short and sweet, but really awesome guy. And I love what you're doing over on your channel. So keep that up. So Chris, it was super awesome meeting you. Jamie Hart. Jamie, oh, I love you. Oh my gosh. What can I say about Jamie? She is a sweetheart online. Like some of us, she's had to deal with trolls, and trolls suck. We hate trolls. Don't be a hater out there. But Jamie's such a strong person, and I just love her. I love her, and she is super friendly, super kind. We talked for a good maybe 10 minutes. And, I was so happy to run into her. So we took pictures. It was amazing. If you're on my Instagram, you probably have seen the pictures, but that's where they are. Jamie, I love you. I do. You're amazing. I adore you. Scotty Boots. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Bootszilla. Hopefully that was your YouTube name. He used to make YouTube videos, but we've connected off of YouTube through Facebook and Instagram. Scotty reached out probably a week before the show and said he was going, and we wanted to meet up and just talk and say hello and meet for the first time. And Scotty's just awesome. I love how he's evolved through kind of life since I first started watching his YouTube channel. He's big into fitness now and music, and I really love that. And Scotty, you are one of the many that inspire me to live a healthier life. And, it's not always easy for me, but I've felt so good about myself, both physically and mentally. And you're one of the reasons why I am where I am today. And so Scotty, it was awesome meeting you, dude. It was so awesome meeting you. And if you're watching this, I love you too. So My buddy Bill, I don't want to forget Bill. I ran into my buddy Bill. I've known Bill for 10 plus years, and again, I love him so much. And he's another special person in my life, and I just adore him. He's one of my close friends. Dixie, Fritz, I want to give you a shout out too, because I saw you this weekend, and I have some of Dixie's movies. Secrets of the Witch, which was really cool, and same with Piggy. So I wanted to show those off. I picked those up at her table, so it was great seeing them again. And I've known Dixie and Fritz for a long time, so it'd been a while since we had seen each other, so that was really cool. And the next thing I want to do is talk about stuff that I picked up from vendors. So see you in a minute. Alright, so wrapping up this video, let's talk about some vendors. I picked up 3 t-shirts, but I don't have them with me because they're in the wash right now. They're in the wash right now. And, I picked up 2 Halloween t-shirts. Carpenter's Halloween. I love that movie. You all know that. That's my favorite movie of all time. So I picked that one up, and I picked up 2 Halloween t-shirts, which I'll show probably in a later video. You'll see in later videos, but I picked those up. Picked up a t-shirt, Scream t-shirt from Horrorland Media. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Awesome vendor. I've seen this guy a couple times now, and I bought movies from him. I bought a t-shirt. Super nice guy. He follows my YouTube channel. He's watched my videos. So if you're watching this, thank you for being super cool, and it was great talking with you, and your merchandise is awesome. And, very affordable stuff too. So, really love running into you. And I hope to see you at future Scarefest shows. I also want to give a shout out, to my buddy Travis. I forgot to give him a shout out, but Travis was there. And, Travis, if you're watching this, it's always great seeing you. But going back to the, vendor stuff. So I picked up some stuff from this vendor. Again, Horrorland Media. And I picked up some Friday the 13th films. So one of them I got from another vendor. I'll talk about that in a minute. But these were the ones from him. I have the Scream Factory box set. I did not need these, but I'm feeling very nostalgic these days. And, with physical media still on the rise, but maybe one day no longer being there, I wanted to pick these up. And some of these are out of print. And some, are still pretty good price, but they're out of print titles. Because we do have that Scream Factory box set now. So, but yeah, I've had some of these Blu-rays in the past. I've gotten rid of them, but these were really great price, and I wanted to grab these while I can. Friday the 13th, the uncut version. Friday the 13th, part 2. This is a double feature. I've never had these double features, actually. So when part 2 and part 3 came out, the standalone Blu-rays, they then released the 10 Friday the 13th box set, the one that came out in 2012. So I never picked up these double feature Blu-rays, but we have part 3 and the final chapter there. Very cool. And what I love about these is they're in mint condition. They were used, but in mint condition. And they came with the 3D glasses unopened. So very cool. Then we have Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, and Jason Lives. Again, did not need these, but they're very nostalgic for me. And I'm a huge fan of the Friday the 13th franchise. You guys know. You guys definitely know this. We collect this stuff. We love this stuff. So, awesome stuff. And then another vendor, and so thank you for your stuff. I really appreciate you. And again, it's Horrorland Media. But this other vendor had Part 7 and Part 8. And Part 7 and Part 8 are hard to find as far as the double feature goes. I went online maybe a week prior to this because I was interested in getting them. I'm glad I waited because I found them at Scarefest. But this one was going for $99 online. And I was like, I ain't paying that much. $10 maybe, but yeah. Or 15, reasonable price. And I saw there was a vendor that was selling this basically brand new for $15. And I was like, I'm grabbing this because I know how much this goes for online, and I was stoked. So now I have all of the Friday the 13th films again. There you go. I love it. I love the franchise. Again, I don't really need to explain it. We all collect the same movies over and over again. The last thing I'm going to talk about, I got to grab them. They are artwork pieces, and I'll be right back. Be right back. Just trying to pull off a scream there. Matthew Lillard. All right, so let's get through the last things real quick. So I got some art pieces, or posters, but they're really great, unique artworks here. And it's from a vendor, Chris Butler Designs. Super friendly people. Him and his wife, they were super friendly. And I love talking with them. Again, I went back a couple times. You know, the thing about it is, if you're a really awesome vendor, I'm going to come see you more than once. So because I love talking with people, and when you're awesome, I will definitely, you know, hit you up again, or, you know, just come across your table again. So I got some poster prints, very happy with them. The first one is Creature from the Black Lagoon. They had so many great ones. They had a Halloween one, but I was trying to think outside the box. I'm a Halloween fanboy, thinking outside the box a little bit. So instead, I got Creature from the Black Lagoon. This is my favorite Universal monster of all time. I did not have enough Elvira, so I needed to fix that and get Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Love that. One of my favorite movies of all time, Psycho. Amazing prints. I love how unique these are. I love coming across artists like them, and Joel Robertson and Nathan Thomas Milliner, who just really have unique art, and it's just awesome. I love supporting them. Then we have Wes Craven's New Nightmare, my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and I just love the you know, there's some great stuff going on here in this poster, but it's also simple in some ways, and I love just the line "Miss Me?" ? That's in the movie. So awesome stuff. Then we have Suspiria, Dario Argento's Suspiria. Again, I don't have enough Suspiria. Needed to fix that. Love these prints, and I love the colors on that. Just amazing. The last two, so this is Halloween related, but it's really John Carpenter related. That is an awesome print of John Carpenter. You can see some of his movies right there, paying tribute to the man, my favorite director of all time. And I love him and I adore him. And if I see him again at a convention, I'm going to get that sign. This one really hit me, though, because, you know, when you lose somebody, whether it's, you know, somebody in your life, obviously, or a director, or in this case, a director or an actor, I'll just talk about. You grow up with these people, and so when they pass on, it's just so sad. And I grew up with George A. Romero, and, you know, Night of the Living Dead had a huge impact on me growing up. And I saw this, they had this print here, and this was actually going out of print. Some of these were going out of print, and they were $10. And the ones that were $10 were the ones that were going out of print. So George A. Romero, I think this was the last one. I think they said this was the last one that they had. So I'm glad I picked it up. I almost passed on it, and I didn't want to because, again, George A. Romero, just... I wish he was still around because I adore his work and I love his stuff. So, anyway, wrapping this up, Scarefest 2023. Scarefest is one of my favorite shows. Again, talking about, like in the beginning of this video, if you have never been to a convention, go to them. If you're a horror movie fan, you're going to love them. The atmosphere is so much fun. If you're a non-horror movie fan, or a casual horror movie fan, if you're skeptical about them, go to them because they're so different than what you would think they are. It's not just about the scary movies. It's not about the scary stuff. It's about the atmosphere, the community, the people, because overall the people are just super, super friendly. I gave shout outs to a lot of amazing people that I've known for a very long time, or I've met recently, that I've watched on YouTube, obviously. But the community is just wonderful. It's like the community on here on YouTube. It's a wonderful community. And so I recommend going. I recommend you just attending these shows, because you will love it. You will have so much fun, and I love going to them. And I love doing these videos. I haven't done a recap haul video in forever on a convention, but I used to do it a lot. That's something I'm going to bring back every time I go to a show. So stay tuned, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. Scarefest 2023. I love Scarefest. This was a super awesome, well-organized, friendly show, and I look forward to this show every year. So until 2024 Scarefest, thank you as always for all you do. And to everyone watching, as always, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You guys rock. And with positive out of the negative, go eat some Skittles. And remember to always be yourself, because you are amazing and you are beautiful. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. I don't know why I do this hand thing. I just think it's pretty cool. See y'all later. Bye.